Some secrets are just fun facts, right? They don't really change your life. But then there are the other secrets, the ones that, once you know them, can completely change the game. And that's what we're digging into today.
So get this, red and green gummy bears, they taste exactly the same. Mind-blowing, right? But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. It's a harmless little secret.
But what if I told you there are secrets about money that are just as simple, but the people who know them are hoping you never find out? We're talking about secrets that can literally rewrite your financial future.
So today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to walk through the 8 hidden money laws that billionaires use to build their empires. This is the stuff they never ever teach in school. This is the unfiltered list. All right, let's start at the beginning. The first batch of laws, they're all about building the right foundation. It's about getting your mindset right. This is what separates people who just spend money from people who own things.
First up, we have the utility law, and it's super simple. Every single dollar you spend needs to have a job, and a job that goes way beyond just looking cool. Before you buy anything, you have to ask yourself one question. How is this thing going to make me more money? That one little question changes everything.
Okay, look at this. It lays it out perfectly. Let's say you get a $5,000 bonus. Nice. Option A, you buy the latest phone, take a weekend trip. It's fun for sure, but by Sunday night, it's over. The money's gone. Now look at option B. Same $5,000, but you buy a used trailer to start a little weekend junk hauling business. By the end of the year, that trailer has not only paid for itself, it's actually making you a profit. That is the utility law in action.
And this isn't just a hypothetical. Let's talk about Maya. She's a teacher, and we're going to follow her story. She saved up $2,000. Now, she could have bought a new phone, right? Nope. She bought a laser engraving machine. She chose utility.
Okay, law number 2 is what some people call stealth wealth. It's the law of silent ownership. See, the wealthiest people, they get that real wealth works best when nobody even knows you have it. That flashy car? Yeah, it screams, "I have money," but it's also a leaky bucket, draining your cash. Quietly owning assets, things like index funds or a piece of a business, that lets your money grow in the dark, It compounds without all the social pressure to spend it.
All right, so once you've got that mindset locked in, you need an engine. You need something to make your money actually grow. So let's get into the laws that are all about multiplication.
This brings us to a huge one, the leverage law. Think about it. There are only 24 hours in a day. You've only got 2 hands. There's a hard limit to what you can do on your own. Leverage is how you break through that limit. It's about using other people's money or other people's time to multiply your own efforts.
Here's a perfect example. You've got a baker. With one oven, she can make 40 loaves a day. That's her limit. But then she takes out a small loan, that's the leverage, to buy a second oven. Boom! Instantly, her output doubles. Now, even after paying back the loan costs each month, she's clearing an extra $700. And here's the magic part. Once that oven is paid off, that extra income just keeps rolling in. Forever.
And remember our teacher, Maya? She did the exact same thing. She took her $2,000 in savings and she combined it with a $1,000 loan from the bank to get her machine. That little loan, that was her leverage.
Next up, Law 4, velocity. This one is critical. Your money has to move. It has to be working. Cash just sitting in a regular checking account earning basically zero, that is wasted potential. Every single dollar you have should be out there, earning its keep 24/7. I absolutely love this analogy. Idle cash is like a parked taxi. Just think about that. It's a machine built to make money, and it's just sitting on the curb doing nothing. Even your emergency fund, it shouldn't be totally lazy. It should be in a high-yield savings account, at least earning something while it's on standby.
Okay, so we've covered the mindset and the engine for growth. Now for the final piece, the armor. These are the laws you use to protect what you've built and give yourself a serious advantage.
So law number 5 is insulation. And this is so important. As you start to build things, as your assets grow, they become a target. Insulation is all about building legal walls, like an LLC, between your different assets. So if, say, something goes wrong with a rental property and someone sues, that lawsuit hits the wall of the LLC. It can't jump over and touch your personal savings or your other businesses. It's contained.
And please, don't think this is just for billionaires. To protect your personal savings from her new side hustle, Maya went online and formed Maya Custom Gifts LLC for $79. That's it.
For less than $100, she built a powerful legal shield around her life savings.
All right, law number 6, smart debt. This one is going to flip everything you've ever been taught about debt completely on its head. We're all told that debt is bad, end of story. Well, that's just not true.
See, there are two kinds of debt. First, you have poison debt. This is the stuff you use to buy liabilities, things that go down in value, like financing a brand new SUV at 8% interest. It's just slowly bleeding you dry. But then there's fuel debt. This is when you borrow money to buy an asset, something that generates more income than the debt costs. Think about financing a duplex where the rent you collect is double your mortgage payment. That debt isn't poison, it's rocket fuel for your wealth.
Law number 7 is the information gap. Money has a funny way of flowing to people who spot patterns before everyone else does. Now, this is not about illegal insider trading, not at all. It's about paying attention. It's reading dry industry reports that nobody else bothers with, or listening to what suppliers are complaining about. When you see that pattern early, you get to ride the wave instead of just getting caught in the whitewater with everyone else.
And that brings us to our final law, number 8, fail cheap. This is a big one. You have to stop thinking of failure as the end. Instead, treat it like a laboratory. Instead of betting your entire life savings on one giant idea, you run dozens of small, cheap, controlled tests. Yeah, most of them are going to fail, and that's not just okay, it's expected. You're just gathering data, because the 1 or 2 that succeed, they'll pay for all the little failures, and then some.
So, there you have it, the 8 laws. I know it can feel like a lot to take in, but here's the thing. You don't have to do it all at once. The most important thing is just to start. Just pick one and take one small step.
And you can start, like, tonight. Seriously, before you go to bed, find a high-yield savings account online, one that pays over 4%, and set up an automatic transfer. Boom! You just put the law of velocity into action. Then tomorrow, just for fun, run the numbers on refinancing some high-interest debt into a lower-rate loan to buy a small asset. That's playing with smart debt. And hey, over your lunch break, you could literally start a simple LLC online for that side hustle you've been thinking about. That's insulation. These tiny actions, they build incredible momentum.
Look, you have the code now. These aren't some mystical secrets reserved for the elite. They're just laws. They're simple, they're repeatable. The next move, well, that's up to you. And now that you know the rules of the game, why would you ever again pay full price for a future that you could own?